Once she looked flawless in her blonde pixie cut and cracked jokes on the great stage.
We're fine. Thank you for your prayers.
While now, she looks completely tired and exhausted, as if a ghost came back from the dead. Yeah, after ruling at the top of Hollywood with The Ellen Show, Ellen DeGeneres has finally crumbled due to destroying all moral boundaries, and that resulted in her own destruction. The worst part is that there's no coming back from it, because right from the very beginning, behind the funny punchlines, downplaying on popular political statements, and owning every role of entertainment with some of the major stars, there were secrets all along.
Last time I was on the show, last year, you gave me a bunch of shit about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited. Well,
You can see it for yourself, but it goes beyond making the guests uncomfortable. Because once the rock was lifted, there came Ellen's toxic behavior at her workplace, her meanness, all the way up to her involvement in the inhumane activities of Diddy. In this video, we show the real nature of Ellen in the clearest way possible so that everyone can think twice before creating icons out of fake idols who ruin not only the lives of others, but end up forever with a stain on their name.
Every day I end each show with a reminder to be kind to one another, and this next story is a perfect example of how one small act of kindness can go a very long way.
For years, Ellen sold the image of the friendly, goofy, harmless comedian who just wanted people to dance, laugh, and be kind. She was the safe face of daytime TV. She was the one who gave out cars, wrote checks to struggling families, and cried on camera about kindness. On the surface, it looked like genuine empathy. But underneath, the cracks were already there. The jokes that went a little too far. The passive-aggressive digs at guests. The moments where the mask slipped for just a second, and you could see the real Ellen looking back.
Have I ever sexted? Martha? You've sexted? Do you know what that is?
Every time those clips went viral, people brushed them off. It's just comedy. She is being playful. That celebrity can handle it. But when a pattern repeats over and over again, it stops being a joke and becomes a personality trait. Think of the interviews where she pushed guests into uncomfortable territory just for a reaction, calling them out on private habits, pressuring them about pregnancy, sexuality, or relationships. She knew that nobody wanted to look uptight or sensitive in front of millions, so they smiled through it, and that silence helped protect her. But the real test of a person is not how they treat other celebrities. It is how they treat the people who cannot fight back. That is where Ellen's empire started to rot.
She could have been brilliantly talented in front of the camera and carried that backstage, and she didn't. Every Friday we were shaking, who's going to get fired this Friday?
Behind the scenes of The Ellen Show, former employees later described a workplace built on fear, humiliation, and favoritism. Stories came out of staff being fired after taking medical leave or bereavement leave, people being told not to talk to Ellen, not to look at her, to act as if she was above everyone. Casual racism, microaggressions, and producers abusing power became a normal part of the office environment. The woman who spent every episode preaching kindness presided over a culture that did the exact opposite. And when big investigations started, it was no longer about a couple of mean jokes. It was about a system that protected bad behavior as long as the cameras kept rolling and the ratings stayed high. Ellen's response only made things worse.
So we've got to see fairness and we've got to see justice for all. Because right now, this is not a fair world. Not at all. I don't know if we'll ever be completely fair, but we have a long way to go to even get.
When she finally addressed the allegations, she put on the same familiar tone. Half apology, half stand-up set. She admitted some things should not have happened, blamed not knowing what was going on, and tried to position herself as someone who was also shocked and disappointed. There were jokes sprinkled into the apology, self-aware lines that made the audience laugh and clap. But that is the problem. The apology was crafted as entertainment content. It did not feel like accountability. It felt like damage control. You cannot hide behind a punchline once people have seen what you are really like when the cameras are off. She spoke about forgiveness in a way that conveniently centered the reputations of the powerful, not the pain of the people they had targeted. It was always kindness for them, never for the people who were actually harmed. That becomes even clearer when her world crosses into someone like Diddy's.
And how old are your kids now? How many kids do you have?
I have 6.
6. And how old are they now? Well, you seem, you seem youthful. That's why they're
I'm
like,
youthful.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm fertile.
Ellen built her career inside the same elite circles of Hollywood and music where power covers everything. She showed up at the same parties, laughed with the same faces, benefited from the same protection that lets famous people act without consequences, and now people look back at every clip, every photo, and every collaboration differently. Nobody is saying Ellen is responsible for Diddy's crimes, but there is a reason audiences feel sick when they see entertainers joking and dancing with men who were quietly destroying lives off camera. It exposes how shallow the morality of those spaces really is. Publicly, they talk about justice, equality, and kindness. Privately, they look the other way as long as the check's clear and the ratings rise. And yet, even as her talk show burned down, her lifestyle told a different story. While former employees were explaining how they were mistreated, Ellen was buying and flipping multi-million-dollar mansions like they were toys, beach houses, ranches, massive properties with carefully curated, relaxed interiors. She and her partner collected homes the way regular people collect shoes. That alone is not a crime, but it is a powerful image. The relatable host whose brand was built on connecting with everyday people, quietly trading luxury estates in the background.
Come on, in you go. In, come on, in.
It seems Ellen and Portia are never far.
The contrast is brutal. On screen, she cried over average families struggling to pay bills. Off-screen, she treated houses as chips in a game of real estate poker. That kind of wealth is not evil by itself, but when you pair it with a track record of cruelty to the people working under you, it starts to look like something darker. Not success, not inspiration, just entitlement. The show's ratings dropped. The magic faded. The jokes no longer landed the same way because people now knew what was behind the curtain. She announced the end of The Ellen Show, trying to frame it as a creative decision, a choice to move on, but everyone could see what had really happened. The brand had become toxic. The "Be Kind" slogan, once a marketing weapon, was now a punchline. This is the real tragedy of Ellen's story. She had everything: influence, wealth, a platform big enough to genuinely change lives, and she chose to use it to bully, belittle, and protect bad people as long as they were useful to her. She pretended to be the kind one, the safe one, the fun one, but in the end, the truth came out in the simplest way possible, by listening to the people who were never allowed to speak before. Her downfall feels satisfying because it proves that no amount of brand building, no number of viral dance clips or celebrity friendships can protect you forever if you treat other human beings like trash. It proves that the public is slowly learning to look past the image and ask how these people behave when the cameras are off. It proves that kindness is not something you say into a microphone, it is something you live every day, especially when there is nothing in it for you. Ellen DeGeneres will probably never go broke. She will still live in beautiful houses and have famous friends. She will still have fans who defend her, but the one thing she cannot buy back is the illusion she used to own. The illusion that she was one of the good ones.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the same in Colombia as it is here in the United States.
And that is why her downfall feels so final, because once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. And once a kindness icon is exposed as cruel, there is no reboot, no comeback tour, no Netflix special that can ever restore that original lie. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel for similar deep dives into how global celebrities become an example of how not to be a human being.